Hey everybody, I am in Los Angeles. I'm hanging out with Joey Salads.
How's it going?
We were both in Berkeley at the same time, and I wanted to talk to Joey about, you actually went undercover as Antifa.
Yes.
In black bloc, like with the mask and the hoodie and everything.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've done that?
I've done it once before at a smaller Trump gathering on Hollywood, but there was literally only 3 Antifa members. So I was just standing there with them the whole time, and I tried talking to them, and I got nothing out of them. They're very, a lot of them are antisocial, socially awkward. So when you have a conversation with them, they're like, oh, like they don't have they can't have a conversation with anybody.
Well, so I wanna preface the interview with, would you say you're conservative?
Yeah, I'll say it.
Because you've produced stuff that comes off as conservative. I think it's important for people to know that at least that's your perspective.
They know where
right?
I stand.
So it's about at least they know where you stand, so they can take what you say with a grain of salt, but at least hear your perspective.
Yeah.
So that being said, what did you see when you were hanging out with these Antifa people in Berkeley?
So much. So at first, when we first got there, there's a lot of stuff I discovered on the footage that I didn't realize at first. When we first got there, a fight broke out immediately. And when I looked back at the footage, I saw, like a small scuffle broke out, and then just an Antifa guy just calling constantly for more Antifa people to run in, to join into the madness and to the fighting. So I saw that on the footage. I was on the ground. I had hidden camera sunglasses on, so this way I could get like a first-hand point of view of everything. And first off, I saw a girl. She had a fire extinguisher, and I saw her dragging it. I was like, oh, did you hit anybody with it? She's like, yeah, I sprayed this one person in the face. I got him good. I'm like, yeah, nice job. And then I'm like, oh, you all out? She's like, yeah, but I can still hit him with this. And she was like shaking it. I was like, all right. That girl, she was a troublemaker, because you could see her pop up a couple times in the videos. And then I later on found out she had a huge rock in her hand, and she was throwing rocks. Multiple women were throwing rocks. It's a lot of the men were walking around with poles and sticks. But it's weird because the women are the dominant ones in their group. The men are like the submissive ones. So the women are the ones that control everything. They're mostly the troublemakers, from what I've seen.
Do you think that's because they're radical feminists?
It could be that.
What I see is a lot of the guys will step back, right? They have this, I forgot what they call it. It's like step up, step back. A lot of the guys will probably back down on purpose and let the women, take charge and make decisions.
It could be. I think the women are like, because since they're feminists, they're probably like, I got something to prove. They wanna like show that they could hang with the guys. I feel like, so they're really aggressive, and for some reason I don't know why, they started vandalizing the place, knocking over all the garbage cans, picking up stuff from the garbage and throwing them at Trump supporters. And then they stole one of those big metal garbage containers that you see like the truck
dumpster.
pick up, the dumpster. And they stole that for some reason, and were just going around in circles with it, like hiding behind it.
Yeah, I saw that. They took it from the alley and then just like started wrapping it around the block.
See, I don't think they're not too smart, these people. Where I don't understand the mentality of some of the things they do. It's like, what was the purpose of taking that and going around in circles? And then I saw the poor guys that had to put it back, and they're just like figuring out where does this thing go. So yeah, they don't get much done. I remember they showed up. They had like a bicycle gang with music blasting.
Yeah, that's called a bike block.
Bike block.
Yeah.
It's just so corny.
Black block, they all wear the hoodies, the masks, sunglasses, and then a bike block is the same thing, but they have bikes. They can use the bikes to make walls and things like that, and yeah.
It's pretty, like, I don't know, it's just...
But did you see any, were people extreme, like, did you see any calls for, like, really, really messed up violence? I mean, look, they were throwing explosives, right?
Yeah.
I saw one guy, he showed me his knife and said, I'm here to defend myself. But did you see anything that you would consider, like, to the extreme degree, like maybe lethal force? Like a knife or an explosive, that could kill somebody.
Definitely the knife, the explosive, and rocks. Dude, if you get hit in the head with one of those rocks, those are big rocks. But that was about all that I've seen. I mean, I didn't even see the knife. You said you saw the knife.
Some guy showed me his knife.
Yeah.
He pulled up his shirt and he had a knife attached to his belt that went from his belt and then down into his pocket.
I know in the past they've tried to make it look like they show up with guns. I remember seeing the videos, but they're actually like BB guns.
Yeah.
And they go running off. That was like a funny compilation.
So there's been, look, I've talked a lot about Antifa, the explosives, the violence, but I don't want to make some kind of false equivalency, but there were people at the rally who were absolutely looking for a fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, you were on the Antifa side for a while because you were undercover, but when after, like, at any point, did you see people on the rally side that you would say were definitely starting fights or being aggressive?
I did not see anyone from the right specifically go out to start a fight with them. I know there was one guy who was pretty early, right when I got there. He was a heavy set dude, and he goes and he's like not really in the face, like probably this far away from an Antifa, be like, you really, like, this makes you happy, like whatever, like he was just like saying like, you think you're a hero doing all this, and then Antifa just started punching him and fighting him, and the dude was just like, didn't even throw a punch, just defending himself, went back into the crowd. I saw that. I thought that was very interesting. Another thing is, a lot of people on the Trump side, from the rally side, they do go with the intention that there's going to be a fight because of Antifa. I was talking to one of the people that was like the medics. They had like an inner perimeter, all like in the rally. There's like an inner perimeter with like people, you know, like they looked like really big bodyguards and medics, and like a medic station. And I was talking to one of them about what happened Undercover, and he was like, yeah, you know, we all, you know, most of us, we all talked, we all got together, you know, we all made an understanding, you know, we're not going to do any violence from our side, we're strictly just protecting ourselves. I talked to him, he didn't want me to record him or interview him, but I mean, that's the mentality of the Trump side. We're going just to defend ourselves. If we have to throw a punch, we have to throw a punch. That's what it's going to come down to.
I have to keep drawing the distinction, though, because, you know, in the beginning, I was calling it the Trump side or the alt-right side.
Yeah.
But I met
the free speech side.
But there were old hippies there, man.
Yeah.
I met 2 people who had no DAPL shirts on, and then I met about 3 or 4 like stereotypical hippies, you know, gray-haired, free speech, man, Berkeley. This is cool. Like, I want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
So it at that point,
a free speech rally. It wasn't.
It was
Trump
predominantly
rally.
right. I'd say Trump. Most people were pro-Trump, but I stopped calling it that because there were other people there, and it's not fair. Like, I had people messaging me being like, dude, I'm not a Trump supporter. Like you can't call it this. It's not fair to me. And I'm like, all right. You know, so I changed it to the rally side.
Yeah. I just say the Trump side because it's probably like 90% Trump people.
But there were some fringe right-wing people there. I don't think it was the majority, but if you watch my Periscope, you will see me actually argue with racists. People who, they call themselves race realists, and they're like, certain sub-Saharan African groups have low IQs and will never succeed, and just things like that I think are extreme. So you said you're conservative, and, you know, I understand you were embedded with Antifa, but how do you feel knowing that there were people at that rally who absolutely were white nationalists and racists?
I mean, it's all part of the free speech rally. It was a free speech rally, so they have their rights to be there. They have their rights to be debated, but I pretty much disagree with anyone who would say what you just said, that, you know, black people have lower IQ.
I didn't. That's not me saying that.
You said that they said. You said
right.
That
like,
said.
I argue with these people. To me, that's extreme.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that I don't agree with, but I wouldn't chuck a rock at their face. You know, what I also noticed was, from the rally side, one guy came out and tried to call for peace on the side of the left, and grabbed him and was like, here, you know, let's light up a blunt together. They were gonna smoke like a blunt of peace, and the Antifa guy was like rolling his eyes. They ended up smoking like a little bit of the blunt, and then an M80 blew up.
Oh, man.
And it ended the whole thing.
I mean, there's a lot of videos where, you know, the Pepsi Joke, where people from the rally side were trying to hand a Pepsi to him.
Yeah.
And you can just see they're not, like, the Antifa people are pissed.
Yeah, Baked Alaska did a funny.
He did. There was like 3 or 4 people who did. There's like a bunch of viral videos now because Pepsi made a meme.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Now they got all these commercials for free, right? These viral videos of people handing Pepsis out. But there was no conversation to be had. I think most of the from what I was doing when I was talking to people, most of the rally people were like, let's talk. Most of the Antifa people were like, we will not talk.
Yeah.
But there were some people in Antifa who would talk to me. One dude really, I didn't have time because things were wrapping up and cutting down, simmering down, and we were getting ready to go like upload, and people were leaving, and he wanted to keep talking about the issues. I respect that.
Yeah.
It feels to me like the same amount of people on the Antifa side who are willing to have a conversation is proportional to the amount of people on the rally side who just wanted to fight and be aggressive. Like, there were people who jumped the barricade from the rally side and just started wailing on people. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like an inverse proportion, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I don't know how long we're gonna keep talking about Berkeley, because that's over. But so now we're gonna get into you, right? And so now I'm gonna call you out because so Joey's got a big YouTube channel, and you got caught. It was a little while ago now, but you made a video.
October, I think.
Yeah, where it was staged, and then you just got lambasted. People were just you got yeah.
All hell broke loose.
I mean, and I'll say this too. Like I insulted you on Twitter. That was stupid. I should not have done that. I apologize. Because
what'd you say? Do you remember?
Yeah, I said you were a fraud and a liar. And so, and I'm gonna say this now to people watching, and I'll say it to you. I realized after doing that, like, it was an emotional reaction, and it's not going to do anything to make the situation better. I constantly talk about how fighting and being aggressive won't solve problems, and then I saw myself do that, and I was like, that was stupid. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to meet up and talk to you. But so let's address this for like the 9 millionth time. You know, just what happened, I guess, and then tell me what you're doing now.
All right, so I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I went out, I faked a video. I faked a video based off of a real life event that happened where there was, I think it was a white guy. He had a Trump bumper sticker, and he got beat up by a black guy who hated Trump.
I'm pretty sure I saw that video. There was like, well, I saw a video where a guy was driving, and the guy's like, "You like Trump?" And he was like, "Yeah," and then he ake beat up.
Yeah, so it was like basically kind of like I saw that video. And I was like, there's some truth to what I am what this fake video is. And it was pretty much just trying to get that message out there of that, which I shouldn't have done in fake means. I should have done everything for real. There was a lot of people on the right who were like, we do believe this probably would have happened or something related to it would have happened if you've done it for real, but you did it fake, so you're fake news.
But not just that, now you've actually discredited that idea.
now it discredits more. It did more harm, of course. And you know, people on the left are like, they believe the whole agenda of it was fake, but you know, the agenda of it did have some truth to it, but the video was totally fake, and I should have never done that.
It's like you tried pushing it, right?
Yeah.
Like the idea was there, you tried pushing it, and it blew up in your face.
Yeah. So
you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, no. So what happens now is after that, I mean, when I do political stuff now, I make sure it's 100% real. I'm doing stuff that is harder to fake. Obviously, you can fake anything, everything. We were talking about it earlier. You can fake anything. Like, even I could have even faked that Antifa video. Yeah. Like, I could have hired all those goons in there. It's a little bit masks. It's a little bit of a stretch to pull something off like that, but there is so much information out there of, like, other real-life events where you just correlate it with mine, and you're like, it seems legit. I'm doing stuff that that's more on the ground, more real, more personal. Like the whole Sweden thing. I know you went to Sweden too. I went to Sweden. I just did interviews. I just went to the locations, and I tried to make just a real video that you can tell is real to bring back my credibility. I've talked about this a lot when I had my news interviews. They always bring up, I did a news interview that they never aired. They were rushing me to do it because they wanted to try to discredit me, because catch me off guard. They made me do it in the back of an Uber.
Oh, wow.
I was like, you can't wait 10 minutes till I'm home. No, we got to do it now. It's got to go live quick. I forgot. I think it was ABC or CBS. I don't remember. And they rushed me on to do the interview. They were talking about that video that did was fake. And I said to them, I was like, listen, I go, the difference between me and you is you guys do fake news. You don't owe up to it. You can continually say that it's real, it's real, it's real. You're not clear about your agenda, and you don't do anything to fix that. I go, me, they are pretty clear about their agenda, but they won't say that they are. Like you know what their agenda is, but they're not saying what their agenda is. They think they're just reporting the news and the truth, but majority of the time they're mostly fake news. And I'm like, the difference between me and you is I'm coming in, I'm owing up to it, I'm confessing. I made a couple of videos where I go through which one of my videos are fake. I did an interview at H3H3. I went through. I was like, this is fake. You're right. This is fake. This had some truth to it. And I went through. I confessed, and I'm moving forward. I'm moving on to become more real, regain my credibility. I go, you on the other hand, just keep on doing your shit, and now you're trying to call me fake. You can't look at the thorn in my eye when you have a wooden stake in yours. It's like,
well, so I'll say this, right? You got caught making a fake video, and I think even for me, it's going to be hard for you to regain that trust and that credibility. But I realize, like I said before, just getting into a fight and like being angry about it really is not going to solve anything. So I think, pencils have erasers, right? For me, when I look at your stuff, I'm always going to hold that, grain of salt where I'm like, well, he did this in the past. I'll keep that in mind. So that being said, why should people trust you? Why should they trust you now? I'm
glad you said this.
Yeah.
The one thing I was actually very proud of is that I was disavowed on both sides, from the right side and the left side, because of the fake stuff. And I like how that people could now watch something. They can watch my videos, they can watch the news, they can watch your videos, and say, this could possibly be fake. Which is a good thing, to have a public and have people that will question anything and everything.
Yeah.
And not to just blindly believe anything. So, in that sense, I'm kind of glad now that people will watch my videos and not just watch it as a brain-dead sheep. I would rather them watch and say, you know, this political video here, you know, I don't know, this seems a little questionable.
You know, it's kind of like, this kind of reminds me of, you know, there are hackers who will do illegal stuff, make a ton of money doing it, and then when they get caught, they turn it around and then start working on the side of revealing this. Like, there's that famous movie, Catch Me If You Can. The guy Frank Abagnale, I think his name was, and he was forging checks, and he was a con artist. And after he got caught, he actually helped solve these problems. So now it's interesting. If people do trust you, I'm not gonna tell people, you know, what they should or shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But you being someone who's actually done some of this stuff in the past, you've actually created some doubt in people's mind. They might, like you said, they might start questioning what they're seeing on the internet.
Yeah, and I could, since I know how it's done, I could watch a video and tell you if it's fake or not. I could watch a video and tell you how exactly they did. I'm sure you
should do a new series.
I should just be like, you know what? And, you know, I like it how it makes people look from both sides. Because, you know, all those, like, those times where it's like, you know, like, Trump gets written on, like, a black church.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
then...
You know, you're going to take that at face value. It could have easily been faked by somebody to just start, you know, a black person could have did that to make Trump look bad. Like,
you know what you should do? Actually, that's actually happened.
Yeah, that is what happened, yeah.
But what you should do is, every time something like that happens, just take that news report and put it next to your fake video of you getting caught and be like...
Yeah, like, anything can be faked. Hell, it could have even been a coup from an actual Trump supporter to make it look like it was from a little. Like, it could have been like a
it's
double.
That's why it's important. No matter, I tell people, you know, I never trust anything 100%. You know, trust is earned after you have repeated bits of evidence that show you that that tends to be correct, right? But trust also means something else. You know, I trust people, but it doesn't mean that I think they're correct all the time. It means, do I believe that they're trying to be honest? You know, you could be telling the truth as you see it and still be factually incorrect. So it's important not to just assume everyone all the time is 100% correct.
Like, example that almost, like, I mean, kind of related to that sign that I saw at one of the Trump rallies.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll tell the audience. There's a sign I found at one of the Trump rallies. It was on the floor. And it was behind the Trump side, and it said, "No jobs for blacks in sanctuary cities." When you read that at first, you'll think, "Wow, this is the most racist thing I've seen." You know, no jobs for black. Like, wow, like all the Antifa people thought it was racist. So I was like, I gotta get rid of that sign, figure out who wrote it, why it's there. So I went, I discovered it was an interracial couple that wrote it. It was a black and an Asian person, and I asked them, you know, what's up with the sign? And basically, what the sign meant was, there is no jobs for blacks in sanctuary cities because they're giving it all to the illegal immigrants.
So but it was written poorly, and people thought it was racist. It was
written, poorly worded, and then it gets seen as racist. So I guess, you know, if I just took a picture of that, if the left took a picture of that and put it up, look how racist they are. But no, when you get more information about it, it's not.
It's like a tweet, man. It's so hard to know the context and it's such short.
Yeah, that's what.
So what are the next steps for you? What are you working on now?
I'm working on this current trip, which it's like a 50-50 whether it's going through or not. I'm planning on going to Jordan and going to refugee camps and just seeing what's going on there. Just make a short little documentary, what's going on there. You know, how these people are living, where they should go, where they think they should go. You know, just do some like investigating over there.
It's like you've come from doing pranks and fake news to actually going on the ground and reporting in some of these countries.
And I still got to do some of these pranks to make a buck, because a lot of times these documentaries could be a hit or miss.
Oh, like, man, news doesn't make money.
It doesn't.
You know.
So I gotta, as long as I can do pranks for entertainment and do some other fun stuff for entertainment and have that money to be able to support doing some real stuff and real beneficial stuff, then I'm happy with that. Like, Sweden trip, that's not cheap. Going to Jordan, that's not cheap. Yeah. You know.
Right on, man. So, I mean, I'm sure most people watching this know your channel, but it's, what is it, youtube.com/
Joey Salads.
Right on. All right, man. Thanks for hanging out and talking.
Thank you.
So, you know, for those of you that are watching, I'm going to say this, and this is an important message, not just about the conversation we're having, but just in general. like I said before, you don't trust anything 100%. I'm not going to tell you you should trust Joey. I'm here because I'm interested in learning about what he thinks, and I really do believe that pencils have erasers. People make mistakes. So sometimes, you just got to give it a chance. That being said, like I said before too, I'm always going to hold that little grain of salt for the stuff I watch of Joey's, but I think I'm willing to give him a second chance. So I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but this was the conversation we had. So if you like these videos, make sure to stay tuned because I'm going to do a new video every single day. Click the like button. It really helps. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Thank you all so much for watching. Seriously, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you tomorrow.